Mike Dell's World number 249.
I think it's time for Mike Dell's World.
There it is.
We've all heard about the recent abuse of GoFundMe pages on Facebook, such as the morons trying to raise money after spending everything they own on Powerball tickets, or the woman who needed cash to get a marijuana tattoo removed from her forehead. Now, the creators of the GoFundMe platform have created something to stop this rampant abuse. It's called the Go Fund Yourself page.
Go fund yourself!
How do Go Fund Yourself accounts work? There's just 3 easy steps. Number 1, get off your ass. Number 2, get a job. Number 3, get a life. Complete those 3 easy steps and you're ready to go fund yourself.
Go fund yourself.
This message paid for by the 50% of the country still working and paying taxes.
Go fund yourself! And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the case may be. This is Mike, and just gonna do a little update, have some sad news and some good news. And I've been kind of on a bit of a roller coaster here lately. So let's talk about some of that. First, the sad news. My 4-year-old beagle dog, Banjo, injured himself. That's probably 3 weeks ago. And he slowly became paralyzed due to a back injury that could not be fixed. So he sadly had to be put down, and I was a complete basket case for a good week, and still not totally okay with that. I'm definitely not okay with that, put it that way, but life goes on, and sadly we had to bury the dog, and would have been okay if it had been 10 years from now. You expect a 14-year-old dog to go away. You kind of prepare yourself for that, but I was definitely not prepared for a 4-year-old dog. Actually, he was about a week and a little bit shy of his 4th birthday, and like I said, my wife and I were pretty devastated. He was part of the family, as dogs tend to be, but especially us empty nesters. So it's just the wife and I and the mangy cat. So we lasted about 2 weeks in that condition. And the good news is, and if you've been looking at Mike Dell's World website at mikedell.com, you will see that we have a new beagle puppy. This little guy, his official name is Benson Joe Cool. Yeah, I know. Well, my wife wanted to call him Snoopy, and I'm kind of a firm believer of not naming a dog after another dog that you already had. And back when I was a kid, I had a Dalmatian that had all black ears, and of course, we had to call him Snoopy. So, not to taint the memory of dogs past, I kind of nixed that idea. And then she wanted to just call him Joe Cool. And I didn't think that was cool. And so then we decided on Benson. No particular reason other than it sounded pretty cool. And of course, short name is Benny the Beagle. And when we got him a week ago, he was 6 weeks old, and very tiny and baby-like. And he's not changed a whole lot in a week, but he's getting more used to his new surroundings, and still doesn't sleep all night. Either the wife or I have to get up in the middle of the night to take him out. And he's a very busy dog. But that's the way they are at 7 weeks. So expect a lot of baby pictures of the dog, cute beagle pictures. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's kind of like your friends showing you baby pictures. Well, I guess some of you probably enjoy that. I'm not really a fan. I mean, it's great, but it's your ugly baby, not mine. So probably have the same same effect when I get a new puppy. But Benny's doing good. He spent a couple days this week with me in the office. Eventually, he will be my new office dog, because Banjo used to come down to the office with me. And what really sucked about Banjo having to go so young is I had just got this job where I'm working from home. And, so I've got my nice office down in the basement, and it was just great. I have a recliner in here. Of course, my office is now my studio and ham shack and everything else. But, it was a shame because, he used to come down here and he'd hang with me, and, we'd go to lunch, and, he'd ride with me, and, Banjo was just my buddy. He always has been, the whole time we've had him. So now we get to kind of start over with a new pup, and that's a challenge. He got me up at 5:30 this morning, and I haven't gone back to bed yet. But what's nice is he tires quickly and then goes back to bed. And my problem is I can't go back to bed, so I was up. But it'll be nice. We'll get him all trained up. Benny's a full beagle. We said AKC registered, or once I send the paperwork and the money in, he'll be AKC registered. I don't know as I'll bother with that, but I don't frankly care. But Banjo is a Beagle Rat Terrier mix, and he was about 35 pounds when he was full grown, and Benny, both his parents were somewhere around 20, 25 pounds. So he's going to be a bit smaller dog, which is great. I'm not getting any younger, so it's nice to have a dog that you can pick up. Especially when they get older. Hopefully, Benny will get to a ripe old age. Where we got him, they had a 20-year-old beagle. I've never seen a 20-year-old beagle, but this old guy was getting around just fine. Obviously old and creaky, but they had to lift him down the stairs. But once he was on the ground, he wandered around and looked pretty healthy for 20 years on a dog. He was a tricolor beagle, and so is Benny, but this beagle, the 20-year-old, was a tricolor at one time, but he's all gray. I mean, all gray. You can kind of tell there's, black and brown tones under the gray hair a little bit here and there, but he's definitely a interesting old dog. Very, very cool. So, like I said, felt good about getting that. Yeah, I know this podcast has gone to the dogs, but that's been my roller coaster. I like dogs better than people in most cases. I mean, I like people too, but there's just something about a dog that I can't seem to live without. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I've not been without a dog for 26 years. And a lot of times we've had multiple dogs. At one time here we had 3. Casey, my golden retriever mix, died at age 14. I don't know, 2.5 years ago, something like that. And and that was that sucked, but it was his time, and I was prepared for that. Then we had a Australian cattle dog that needed to go to the farm. Not that we liked her, but she liked to herd people, and we have people over a lot, and that got to be very bothersome. So we found her a nice home on a cattle farm over in Atlanta, Michigan. Yeah, there is an Atlanta, Michigan. And as far as I know, she's doing good. She liked to ride around in the pickup truck with the farmer and jump out and chase the cows around. And so kept her active and all that good stuff. So And she was a rescue dog, so we got her out of a bad situation and put her in a good situation. So I don't feel so bad that we had to get rid of her. But like I said, it's been 26 years since I've been without a dog. And so, like I said, last weekend we went and got a dog. So, enough about the dogs. Let's see, work life. I'm coming up on 2 months working from home for Blueberry Raw Voice Incorporated, full time. Of course, I've been working with them for a long time, but I think I told you guys all about all of that. But it's going well. We just launched a new product for podcasters called PowerPress Sites, which is basically WordPress managed hosting at blueberry.com. And it was a little bit of a challenge getting that going and getting the documentation together for that. But we got her launched, I think, Thursday. And we've already got some takers, which is good. And I've been experimenting. Those of you that were subscribed to the Traverse City podcast that ended up switching over to Mike Dell's world because I sort of discontinued the Traverse City podcast. Well, I'm bringing it back over on PowerPress Sites. So if you want to go to traversecitypodcast.com, that'll take you over to tcmi.blueberry.com, blueberry spelled without any E's. And if you want to subscribe to that, I'm going to do like I do here. It's not going to be a scheduled thing. I'm going to do interviews, talk about events, just talk about the history of the area, which I do here too, but I figured I'll do it over there, and it gives me a chance to fully test out PowerPress Sites. So go check that out, traversecitypodcast.com or tcmi.blueberry.com. And it should be in iTunes, I'm guessing probably Monday, Tuesday. Haven't got an email back from them, I don't think, but I submitted it over there, and there's just one little episode 0 file over there right now. No, don't see anything yet. It also should be available on Google Play Music before too long, and TuneIn Radio and Stitcher. And once I get all those subscribe links back, there'll be buttons over there on that site that you can press to subscribe. And as a friend of mine says, in fact, I will just play this. Where is that? Oh, geez, I had it. Here we go. So here's how Mark puts it about subscribing to a podcast.
If you like what you hear, subscribe. And every time we upload a new episode, you will feel a vibration in your pants.
Okay, well, just wanted to I wanted to play that, Hey, and you notice the episode number today is 249. That means the big show 250 will be up next. Not sure when that's going to happen, but I think I'm going to kick it old school on that one and do a 2005 sort of podcast like I used to do back when I started. So I'm going to have a little bit of music, a little bit of comedy, a little bit of whatever. So the big show 250 coming up. And also I'm kind of on hiatus with Podcast Help Desk and Geek of the North. Yeah, I know, I'm doing too much. Not really doing too much. I should be doing more, but I've committed to too much. So I kind of took the summer off on those two. I'll just put out episodes as I see fit. And with Podcast Help Desk, I will get back to a weekly schedule in the fall. That's my plan anyway. Of course, this one, sometimes I go in spurts. I'll do some dailies for a while, and then it'll be a whole month. I think it's been a little over a month since I've done one of these, and I think the last one was just a little quickie update. So, that's how podcasting works for the podcast hobbyist. that I am. I'm not a professional podcaster. I am in professional podcasting. Speaking of which, July 5th through the 9th, I will be in Chicago. And if you're within striking distance of Chicago on the 6th in the morning, I believe it's going to be at the Hyatt. Blueberry's having a little get-together, a workshop, I guess we would call it. And I'll be teaching portions of that. That's just prior to the podcast movement convention there at the Hyatt Regency in downtown Chicago on Wacker. That's the street it's on, Wacker, something. Anyway, it's downtown Chicago, Hyatt Regency. But I'll be there that whole week, Tuesday through Saturday, for the convention. If you're going to podcast movement, stop by the Blueberry booth, and chances are I'll be there, or somebody there will know where I'm at. So looking forward to that. Not necessarily looking forward to Chicago in July, but hey, it's not terrible for short periods of time. One thing interesting, and I've said this before, I'm not going to live somewhere where I got to routinely pay for parking. And if that ever happens around here, I'm moving north. But that's all dependent on an internet connection. But if I could get a good internet connection up on Sugar Island, I probably would think about moving up there. And I don't think I'd get too much resistance from my wife, other than she's got a really good job here. So I guess we'll have to wait until we retire. But chances are we'll move north or south or both. Maybe become snowbirds. Maybe get a motorhome. That'd be fun. But back to this parking story. I looked into parking at the hotel. If I was to park at the hotel in Chicago, it would cost me something like $80 a night. If I'm going to be there for 5 or 6 days, you do the math, that's ridiculous. And all the big parking garages near there, similar prices, maybe less, but still pain in the butt. Because I'm in easy driving distance to Chicago, and that's what my plan was. But really, it'd be cheaper for me to fly or take the train. So I've never been on Amtrak before. I've been on trains elsewhere, but never, on Amtrak. So I looked it up, and from New Buffalo, Michigan, which, it's most of the way to Chicago. So I'm still going to drive 4 hours and then park at the Amtrak station in New Buffalo for free. And I got a first-class round-trip ticket to Union Station in Chicago, which is fairly close to the hotel. I probably have to take an Uber or a taxi over to the hotel, but the whole round trip, first class, everything, $50. And that's certainly a lot cheaper than like $300 or whatever it would have been to park there. So that's the story. I'm not parking there. I'm parking in New Buffalo, which is right on the Indiana-Michigan border down there, right along Lake Michigan, and pretty close to Lake Michigan down south there. And actually the train ride, I think, is about an hour. So shouldn't be too bad. And so I'm kind of looking forward to that. And, really no need for me to have a car in Chicago. And I think somebody from the Columbus office is driving, so there will be a car there if we want to go somewhere, I guess. But we're going to be right downtown, so I don't suppose we'll need to go anywhere. But I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to meeting a lot of people I talk to on a daily basis, through tech support and whatnot at Blueberry. A lot of people are going to be there that, have mentioned that, hey, are you guys going to be there? We'll stop by and meet you. So that'll be good. Get to put face to the names, and plus get to see a lot of old friends that I've known over the years in the podcast industry. Let's see. The only other trip we've got planned, of course, is the Sugar Island Music Fest coming up in August. I think it's August 12th-ish, whatever that weekend is there, up on the island. So sometime between the time I get back from Chicago and August, I'll get the camper ready to go for its probably only voyage of the year. Although we keep saying we want to go camping more, but with Kathy's job, she has to work usually one day of the weekend most of the time, so may not happen. Although maybe I'll take the little Beagle Boy and we'll go park somewhere, and then Kathy can come meet us for her Monday or Monday off or whatever. I'm still doing the courier thing just once every 2 weeks. I do the hospital route that I've been doing for years, but as far as the rest of the courier business, I'm not participating. As Raw Voice and Blueberry keep me busy. In fact, when I get done recording and posting this episode, I've got a little bit of Saturday work to do, and then my plan is to clean the office and do a little reorganizing in here. It's getting a little cluttery, and I've got a lot of electronic gear that is still hanging around but not in use, so I'm going to kind of get rid of some of that. And I got a tall table at a garage sale for $10 that it's a 42-inch square table, and it's 3 feet high, which should be just about the right height for a stand-up desk. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to cut it down a little bit. I'm going to take the top off of it, cut the frame down to where the table's maybe, 2 feet or 18 inches. I'm not sure. It's enough for like a shelf. So I got my laptop and a monitor and a keyboard and all that, so that part of the day I can spend standing up. I'm sure that's going to be better than sitting in the chair. And I can't really afford one of those fancy stand-up desks that you can, adjust the height of the monitor. So, and I've got a laptop that I need to keep up to date for traveling, so might as well put it to use. It never comes out of the bag most of the time, just because, don't need a laptop. I use the iPad, in the easy chair and elsewhere, so don't really need the laptop for anything other than, traveling. So that'll be my project for this afternoon. Like I say, clean up the office, do a little reorganizing, cut that table down, and put it back together and bring it down here and set it up to where I've got a stand-up workstation for the laptop. So that'll be fun. Let's see, other news. I got a Amazon Echo, and I would say the word, but it would go beep. But that's the Alexa. It didn't hear me. Good. Actually, I could turn the mic off and it wouldn't hear me, but it's pretty handy. You can pretty much call up any radio station in the world via TuneIn or iHeart, and you could call up podcasts via TuneIn. And, it's just basically it's a really fancy Bluetooth speaker with a Siri-like assistant built in, and I think it's a really neat product. And you can also add things to your calendar. You can through if this then that. You can have it trigger events and fill out what do you call them, spreadsheets on Google Docs and all that. So I use that for call logging. So I can tell the Echo to log a call, and it logs the call. And then I can go in there and write my notes about the call, but it logs the time and date. That way I can see who I talked to and for how long and all that good stuff. So that's been kind of neat. Spent a lot of time listening to jazz. My old job at the printing shop, the music that we had to endure was, didn't matter what station you turned it to, it always ended up being rap. Did you guys know that there's such thing as rap country? And it's not just a little bit. There's a lot of it. Country isn't country music anymore. So I'm an old fuddy-duddy and just as soon not listen to popular music. I just as soon listen to other music. So as you know, if you listen to any of the music on this show, it's definitely offbeat stuff. And I'm not totally opposed to rap. Like there was a rap bluegrass group that I played a few times on here called the Deadly Gentlemen. And they were kind of rap-ish bluegrass. And that was kind of fun, but in small doses. I don't want to listen to it all the time. But my office mate there at the print shop, who, nice lady, no problem there, but she had a taste in music that was not conducive to me. So it's been nice being in my own office, being able to control what goes on music-wise and all that. But I spend, a fair amount on the phone and Skype and GoToMeeting. So a lot of times the music gets turned down or off. But, during the quiet times, I can listen to podcasts or listen to jazz or folk, country, real country, and all that good stuff. And I might sound a little nasally this morning. I don't know particularly why, but got a little bit of congestion. Maybe it makes my voice sound deep. So with that, I think I'll call it a podcast. I just wanted to update you on what's going on in Mike Dell's world. And like I said, go check out Traverse City podcast. I'll start putting some stuff over there as the mood strikes me. And like I said, again, working from home, it's kind of nice. If I want to take a break, I can record something. I haven't done that a lot because I've been pretty busy, but, I can. Oh, yeah, one more thing. If you get this before Sunday evening, I believe it's 8 o'clock. Here, let me check it out for sure what time it is. But the podcast award ceremony is happening. It's a virtual ceremony this year. Okay, had to type that in. I couldn't talk at the same time. Okay, the live podcast awards 11th ceremony there will be live at podcastawards.com on June 26th. That's tomorrow. Today's June 25th on Saturday, but Sunday the 26th. So if you get this in time, that is 8 p.m. Eastern time, Eastern U.S. time. So adjust as necessary. Jason Bryant from Matt Talk Online is going to be the MC, along with Todd Cochran. And I'm going to be one of the presenters. I believe I'm presenting the education category. I might be doing two. I'm not sure. But if nothing else, it's going to be fun to watch all the technology fail because Todd's controlling all that from Hawaii. And that'll be kind of fun. We're going to have 3 Skype video streams into it. The MCs coming in virtually from Minnesota. Plus, we're going to have the presenters popping in and out on Skype video. And we're going to have hopefully, the winners giving their acceptance speeches via Skype video. So it'll be, one in, one out, one in, one out, that kind of thing. And a lot of the people that were up for awards that couldn't be there live are going to have a video acceptance speech. So it should be pretty entertaining. If nothing else, be fun to watch to see if the technology holds out. The podcast awards are over at podcastawards.com. And also, podcast awards, well, let me give you a little backstory. After the 9th podcast awards, which was held in Las Vegas, I believe in January, whatever year that was. I guess it'd be 2015 in January, or was it 2014? I think it was 2014. There we go. And then the 10th annual was last year. And between the 9th and the 10th, Todd Cochran, who owns the Podcast Awards currently, and before, sold it to the people from New Media Expo, Blog World. Or he signed a deal to transfer it. And of course, I don't know all the particulars, but as some of you might know, the New Media Expo sort of imploded after the 2015 Expo there in Las Vegas, which was with NAB, the National Association of Broadcasters, last April, a year ago, April in 2015. And that's when the 10th annual award show happened. And that was sponsored by Podcast One and Norm Pattis. And that was a big deal in Las Vegas at the old Hilton, which keeps changing names, but I think it's called Westin now. Westin Las Vegas. Anyway, don't remember. But anyway, that big award show, it was pretty cool. Got to go there live. And but this year, they're in a rebuilding. So there's a campaign over at GoFundMe to help rebuild the Podcast Awards site. It's going to cost about $20,000 to do it properly. And got to have a lot of custom code and a lot of code in there to keep people from cheating on the voting. So if you believe that the Podcast Awards should go on, go over to podcastawards.com. You'll see a GoFundMe video there right below the big video box there on the front page, and contribute. Go over and contribute to the Podcast Awards. Also, if you want to advertise on the site, you can do that. And, anything to help. Be really good to keep these things going. It's the People's Choice Podcast Awards. There are other awards. In fact, at the podcast movement, there's going to be the Academy of Podcasters Awards and the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. That's in Chicago in July with the convention. So, nothing wrong with those awards, but these are the People's Choice, the Academy, the Podcaster Academy, or Podcast Academy is, a group of Academy members that pick the shows, and it's kind of like the Oscars. And like I said, this one, the Podcast Awards at podcastawards.com is the People's Choice. So go check that out. All the voting's done. The winners have been picked. I don't know the winners yet. I guess I'll get that sometime tomorrow. I'll get to figure out who the winner is that I'm going to be announcing, or winners. Like I said, I think I might be in two categories. I know I'm going to be in the education category, but not sure about the other ones. So that should be fun. And if you watch that, you might see my office stand-up desk in the background of the video. I don't know. Depends on which way I point the camera, I guess. So with that, I'm out of here. Everybody have a great week or two or three until the next one, and I will catch you later.